Nobody saw this coming. After months of hype, glossy PR moves, and carefully curated headlines, Meghan Markle's big comeback with love, Meghan, Season 2 has crashed harder than anyone expected. Netflix executives scrambling behind the scenes, critics already moving on, and fans, they're asking the question nobody thought they'd ask. Has Meghan finally lost her audience for good? Stick around, because what I'm about to show you isn't just about a failing Netflix series. It's about desperation, strategy, and how Meghan Markle may have just made the biggest mistake of her career. Let's start with the numbers. When Love, Meghan first dropped, the expectation was huge. This was supposed to be the polished follow-up to her explosive docuseries with Harry, the project that would cement her as more than just a royal runaway. Instead, the series barely cracked viewership charts. Internally, sources say Netflix executives were stunned. Even CEO Ted Sarandos, yes, the top man himself, got directly involved in calls about how to salvage this disaster. That's how bad it was. We're not talking about a show that underperformed. We're talking about a show that flatlined. But instead of stepping back, Meghan doubled down, and what she did next has left even her own team speechless. In what she framed as her big solution, Meghan announced her next project. A book. But not just any book. A book based entirely on her experience of being pregnant in the public eye. And if that wasn't surprising enough, she floated the idea of turning that same story into yet another Netflix docuseries. Think about that. Netflix is bleeding money from her current flop, and Meghan's answer is, here's another show about me. Now, here's where it gets messy. Her own team, her manager, her agent, her publicists, reportedly hated the pitch. One insider even called it PR suicide. But Meghan? She brushed it off, insisting this is the project that will silence the haters and educate women. And then she gave the quote that blew up the internet. She said she wants to educate women, especially single mums, because there are so many uneducated women out there who don't know how to handle themselves. Yes, she really said that. Instantly, critics jumped on the arrogance. Because here's the truth. Women have been raising kids, holding down jobs, and surviving pressures far greater than Meghan's, without royal titles or Netflix deals for centuries. That statement alone, enough to fuel 1,000 think pieces. But here's the thing. This pregnancy project wasn't born out of inspiration. It was born out of damage control. Remember that Instagram video? The one where Meghan tried to paint herself as the fun, relatable mum behind the scenes? Yeah, the one with Archie holding a film clapper and Lilibet in a director's chair. It was supposed to be cute, relatable, a glimpse of a modern mum juggling career and kids. Instead, viewers slammed it as staged, fake, even manipulative. And instead of learning from that backlash, Meghan is tripling down, trying to build an entire media franchise off of the very thing people didn't buy the first time. Now, here's where it gets almost surreal. In her pitch, Meghan admitted she's not sure if she'll play herself in the documentary. Let that sink in. She wants to tell the story of her own life, but maybe have another actress play her. Who does that? Either she's avoiding the camera because she knows her image is toxic right now, or she genuinely thinks people will see it as an artistic move. Either way, it reeks of desperation. How can you claim authenticity while outsourcing your own role? Critics caught on immediately, and the whole project started looking less like empowerment and more like a vanity play gone wrong. And here's where the real cracks show. Behind the scenes, Netflix is furious. Executives were promised something fresh, empowering, something that would resonate with younger audiences. Instead, they got a hollow PR stunt. The numbers don't lie. Massive viewer drop-off after episode 1. Critics refusing to review past the premiere. No presence in Netflix's top 10. And the worst part? Meghan's answer isn't to pivot, it's to double down on herself. The silence from Netflix speaks volumes. No promotion, no trending tags, just nothing. For a company that once bet big on Meghan and Harry, that's telling. Part of the problem? Meghan refuses to acknowledge criticism. Every time backlash hits, she frames it as racism, misogyny, or ignorance. And while those are real issues, sometimes criticism is just honest feedback. Not every viewer is a hater. Some are just exhausted by the endless PR spin. But when you live in an echo chamber, surrounded by yes men insulated from reality, every rejection feels like injustice. And that's the trap Meghan has fallen into. The fallout isn't just with viewers. Hollywood itself is pulling away. Once upon a time, Meghan was invited everywhere. Magazine covers, A-list parties, star-studded collaborations. Now, the silence is deafening. Former allies are quietly stepping back. Invitations are drying up. Projects are stalling. Even Hollywood, the land of reinvention, is hesitating. Because no one wants to be tied to a brand that feels more toxic than triumphant. And for Meghan, that fading spotlight is more dangerous than outright scandal. Here's the bottom line. It's not that people want Meghan Markle to fail. It's that they're tired. Tired of being promised authenticity but getting vanity. Tired of hearing empowerment speeches that sound more like sales pitches. Tired of watching a woman who escaped one spotlight only to build another around herself. And this new pregnancy project? It's the most tone-deaf move yet. Because mothers everywhere, single, working, struggling, surviving, already know their stories matter. They don't need Meghan Markle to tell them that. For Netflix, this is a nightmare. They gambled big, betting Meghan's name still had global pull. But after flop, the question is unavoidable. Why are they still betting on her at all? Executives are already debating whether to kill the pregnancy doc before it even makes it to production. Some insiders say the appetite for another Meghan-centric project is near zero. And with their holiday special already hitting resistance, the clock is ticking. So, what's left? Meghan Markle, once hailed as a modern feminist icon, now finds herself cornered by her own narrative. Every time she tries to reinvent, she falls back into the same trap. Another speech, another docuseries, another glossy rollout. But instead of connection, audiences feel distance. Instead of empowerment, they see ego. Instead of authenticity, they get performance. And here's the big question. When the spotlight finally fades, when Netflix stops calling, when the PR headlines disappear, what's Meghan Markle's legacy going to be? Maybe she'll reinvent again. Maybe she'll finally listen to the audience. Or maybe this was the moment when the Meghan Markle brand quietly slipped into irrelevance. Because in Hollywood, fading isn't just dangerous, it's fatal.